Welcome to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Butel, joined by the head coach for GCU men's basketball, Bryce Drew. And coach, you're 13-7, coming off a split at home. And you've been hit with tough injuries, and also you're facing what is now a very competitive Western Athletic Conference. Every game seems to be just a fight.
Yeah, it's a great conference. You know, we're probably, the best right now, one big conference in the country. For how tough it is, night in and night out. And it's been fun to see, but also challenging to see, over the last 2 years, just how much better, this league has gotten top to bottom.
Utah Tech gave you a little bit of a fight. You pull off a 4-point win over Utah Tech, and in that game, Ray Harrison, what a performance. A career-high 38, hit 7, which is also a career-high 3-pointers in the game. I mean, you have to be just impressed with what you're seeing from Ray.
Ray's been fantastic. He's playing as good or better than any player in our conference right now. Coming off, the nights that he had this last week. And we're asking him to do so much, with the injuries we've had. He's had to take way more on his shoulders. And you can kind of see some fatigue set in during the games because he's having to do so much. But it's really fun to see him progress and grow. And it's his first year in our program, and he doesn't look like it. He's starting to look like he's been here for years, and just how comfortable he is taking that leadership role.
The guy that has stepped up recently has been Josh Baker. He had a career-high 14 points in the game. He did go out with an injury in that second game at home. But he has definitely stepped up as well.
In Javon's absence, hit 4 out of 5 threes. It's probably his best offensive game of the year. And then he turned around the next game. We were up 23-15, up 8 and building that lead. And then he went out with a concussion and, didn't play for the rest of the game. So basically down 3 starters, for the majority of that last game.
Utah Valley, Mark Madsen brings in the Wolverines, winners of 12 of their last 13 games. And man, it was back and forth throughout the course of this game. Trey Woodbury was lighting it up for them, and you guys were countering with every counter, with every blow.
It was a great college basketball game.
It was.
I went back and watched it, and you watch games on TV all the time, and I'm watching this game, and I'm like this is a high-level game. Like, both teams are making high-level plays. Both teams are playing with a ton of emotion, a ton of energy. And, as I looked and I reflected, I was like, we kind of controlled the game for the majority, except for the start of the game, and then kind of one part near the end where we had 2 guys in foul trouble on the bench where we built a lead and they were able to come back and tie it. And then down the stretch, it was just one possession. If we score one more possession, which we had opportunities, it's a totally different outcome. And so really proud of our guys, how they played.
And indeed, we had 2 starters out. You lost Josh Baker there in the second half. You already mentioned the foul trouble and the fortitude, and how this team gutted it out to make it just a 2-point game. You got to tip your cap.
We're really proud of them. We talked about it. We went back and we're looking at film today, going through it all where we can get better on certain things. And so the league is so competitive, it's coming down to 1 or 2 possessions. And, if you look at our last few losses, our average, margin is 3.6 points, which is us getting 1 more stop and getting 1 more score, and all those games are flipped. And so, those we got to get better just at a couple more possessions, and that's what we're working on.
Noah Bauman has stepped up recently, 14 points. He had 8 rebounds. Kobe Knox, whenever he's in the game, seems to be really disruptive. 11 points, 2 blocks, also a steal in the game. Walter Ellis had that inbound steal during this homestand as well, and the putback. Some guys are definitely stepping up.
Yeah, we definitely like where our young guys are at in our program. Kobe Knox usually gets freshman of the week because he's only freshman playing in the conference, right now, he and Isaiah Carr. And, for him to step in, though, and not just to play minutes, but, I mean, he really impacted the game on both ends of the court. It was really fun to see, and to think he's only a freshman out there playing against fifth-year seniors, is really encouraging.
Finally, the upcoming road trip, you travel to Abilene Christian and then on to Tarleton. How do you see that those 2 games?
Well, guard play is so important. We saw it down the end of the stretch with Josh Baker out. And then Ray Harrison fouls out. We're playing, Kobe and at the 2 guard. And so, first is health of the guard possession is really important. Hopefully we can get Josh Baker back. If not, we're really thin in that backcourt. And unfortunately, when you go to Texas and play those 2 teams, they're going to pressure you all over and try to get steals. And so we're really going to have to handle the ball well and have multiple guys, I think, get more involved in handling it.
Coming up, the women find themselves in a battle toward the top of the standings. What does Molly Miller want to see from her team as WAC play rolls on?
The pulse, the beat, the vibe. You have a place to turn it on. Talking Stick Resort.
The future looks good. The future looks good to me. We'll find our way back. We're on the right track and we don't look back. No, no. The future looks good.
This is the team working hard over lunch. This is Alex, who's been craving a double meat Whataburger all week, with bacon and cheese, of course. This is Marcus, who wants his usual Cobb salad. Sydney's into a spicy chicken sandwich. Wait. No, a patty melt. This is Rob. He ordered for everyone right from the app. Rob, you're a lifesaver. Make that lunch saver. Whataburger, just like you like it.
Center Court with the Lopes is presented by Talking Stick Resort and by Cox Business.
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Butel now joined by the head coach for GCU women's basketball, Molly Miller. And coach, you're 6-2 in the conference, winners of 14 games, 6 of the last 7. I know you're coming off a little bit of a setback, but how do you feel about your team here in the thick of things in the conference?
No, we found a way to win without our complete squad. So I think there's some hopefulness when we get everyone healthy to their full potential, getting back in a rhythm. It's going to be nice to be at home, and a big test for us this week. So I think for us, the mindset is next play usually. Now it's next game. We kind of have to learn. We've got some film, some learning areas that we can tighten up on to be better for the next one.
Is it nice because you were at Arlington and then UTRGV, you rattle off a couple of road wins, you've been able to win some games on the road. Nice to be road warriors, and then you came back and New Mexico State gave you a little bit of a game there and you pulled it out in overtime.
Yeah, they're actually a really good team. A team that's a little bit different but same as last year. They're always going to be pretty scrappy, rely on that pressure defense, make you uncomfortable a little bit, but I think they're really disciplined this year and they have some tools to be able to succeed. So that was a good win for us. I think they're going to win a lot more games in the conference, and so I think it's going to prove to be a good win. And then anytime you can win on the road, that's a great thing in this conference, and I think for us that gave us some confidence and momentum going in. And then against CBU, it was their night. They had a really good game and they executed really well, and it was their game that day.
It's been great to see the development and the return now 12 games in for Olivia Lane, 16 points, 19 rebounds. She's having the most fun, as she mentioned, that she's ever had playing basketball.
Yeah, we give her a lot of leeway because she's just a worker. We know she's going to go in there and be a workhorse for us. She's one that she has done her rehab above and beyond any expectation anyone had. So for her, I think this was really a time for, okay, now let's put all that work to use on the court. And she really does get out there, and she's relentless and tough as nails, someone that we want to model kind of our program kids off of. And, we got her back and she's getting healthy, and, her back and Sydney out. Now, if we can have this kind of full team come together, and everyone's battling kind of the dog days of injuries around this time of year, but I think we're moving in the right direction to get everyone back, and she's just a big piece that we're really fortunate to have this second half.
Yeah. Do you sense that maybe some of the teams are trying to give it back as far as those scouting reports are concerned and create turnovers on in that battle on the court, that you guys are so disruptive that they're trying to give it back right at you?
Sure. I think, we talked about this in the locker room. When you're one of the top teams in the conference, you're going to get every single team's best game. So you can't pick and choose when to bring your best, because inevitably you're facing the best that you're going to get against your opponent. So it's a little bit of a maturity thing as we progress through the season to learn that we can't take games off and we can't take scouts off, we can't take prep off. We got to be at the top of our game because surely the team on the other side is going to do that when they're trying to knock off one of the top teams in the conference.
You did mention returning back home against Southern Utah. The Thunderbirds are atop the conference, the winners of 6 straight, and then on Saturday, Abilene Christian comes to town. What do you see from these two opponents?
Just a big week for us. I mean, first, we're kind of focused on Thursday. We haven't really, thought about the full week, except we've got a big one and a big statement game, a good game to get back on track, I would say. They're very talented. They've got really good guards. And then, probably the tallest player in the league on their team in the post. So not extremely deep, so hopefully our defense can maybe wear them out a little bit, but what they do it simply and they do it really well. So again, I don't think it's going to be a very tough scout. We just got to be pretty disciplined in our prep leading up to it. But really looking forward to facing, the number 1 team in the conference right now in Southern Utah.
Up next, we have some fun with the men's volleyball team. Who has the worst style on the team? That and more when we come back.
CAZ Sports Bar is the Valley's home for sports fans. Now, it's also your new home for sports betting, so you can make your picks, catch all the action, and enjoy everything else you crave. We're your home for sports betting, Arizona. CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Life can get messy. At Superstar Car Wash, we're here to help. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of a clean car all year long. Get super savings every month when you sign up for a ceramic monthly plan. And pay it forward with a free car wash to give as a gift when you sign up. Keep your car looking super. Visit Superstar Car Wash today.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
The GCU athletics programs recently spent some time giving back to the community. Around 100 student athletes and staff were busy sorting, packing boxes, and filling shopping carts as they assisted families in need at St. Mary's Food Bank. It is one small way the athletics programs help with their local communities, and the Lopes are proud to be a part of it. As we turn to what's ahead for GCU athletics, there are a couple of big season openers on the horizon. GCU baseball opens its season on February 17th in the MLB Desert Invitational. The Lopes begin at Salt River Fields against UC San Diego, followed by a Saturday home game against the number 2 ranked Tennessee Volunteers. Both of those games can be seen on the MLB Network. Softball hosts their first home tournament, also on February 17th as they host the Littlewood Classic. And the 4-0 men's volleyball team returns to action at home on January 27th. We recently caught up with them and put them on the spot to see who has the worst style.
Who has the worst style and why? Who has the worst style?
Who has the worst style and why?
Who has the worst style and why?
Jeez, this is the question.
I have my answer. Rico Wardlow, because that dude thinks he can dress and he just can't dress. Camden Gianni.
I'm gonna have to go with Christian Jenke.
Me. I would probably go with Jackson Herr.
Nick Benloggy.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I know it's not me, all right?
I don't know, Nick Benloggy's pretty bad. Nick Benloggy's pretty bad.
I'm gonna say me. I wear hoodies and sweatpants all day, every day.
I'd say that
I'm gonna go with Jackson Hickman.
Oh, wow, I shouldn't have said that.
He wears about the same 3 articles of clothing every week. So if he could interchange it a few times, I think that would really push him up there.
I'm gonna say Jackson Herr because he's always wearing the same pajama pants every single day.
I mean, it's gotta be Cooper! To be honest, it's probably me and AC. This doesn't have to go in the video. I just know Jonah Gilbert came over here and said that I have the worst style, and I know he didn't provide a good reasoning. That's it, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna go with BK, probably because he cares the most.
Coming up, what is a game day like for Chance McMillan? He takes us through his routine next.
The pulse, the beat, the vibe. You have a place to turn it on. Talking Stick Resort.
Wow, that's hot.
Fresh grilled, that's hot. Mesquite Fresh Street Mex, where authentic meets modern. Visit us today at one of our Valley-wide locations.
I'm accident attorney Sweet James. For over 15 years, my firm and I have helped tens of thousands of accident victims get their life back with almost $1 billion in settlements. It's our mission to share the success with the community. That's why every time we settle a case, we donate meals to feed those in need. Last year alone, we fed over 65,000 people. So, if you're hurt in an accident, call the winning firm that cares. Call Sweet James.
We take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Cox Business. The Lopes are on the road to the Lone Star State, Thursday at Abilene Christian, and then Saturday against Tarleton. They return home February 4th to take on Stephen F. Austin and the New Mexico State Aggies on February 8th. Visit GCULopes.com for tickets. And a reminder, all home games can be seen on Fox 10 Extra or streamed on the ESPN Plus live streaming app. We get used to seeing the Lopes on the court, but what about off the court? At a recent Saturday home game, guard Chance McMillan took us through his game day routine.
What's up, y'all? This is Chance McMillan here at GCU Basketball. I'm here to show you a day in the life of a student athlete on game day. So now we're heading to the arena. We got shoot around, get some shots up, go over their plays, make sure we're ready for tonight. It's supposed to be good, so it's gonna be a good one tonight. NB, look at NB, man.
Oh, what is this?
Arizona native, man.
What is this?
All right, man, I'm about to go get changed. I'm gonna be back out in a little bit. Let me do a bake, let me do a bake, let me do a bake. Let's look at You ready for tonight?
Stay ready and gotta get ready.
Oh! Yeah, you told me. Okay.
Confidence on 3, 1, 2, 3,
Confidence! Yo, we just got done with shoot around. Now I'm about to head to GCBC to get my favorite drink ever. Can I get a medium strawberry lemonade? Or strawberry kiwi lemonade? See, that's that good stuff, but you gotta shake it up first though. And make you jump a little higher. Now I'm about to go back to the room, take a nap before we got our little team chapel at 3. So I'll see y'all then. We got chapel right now. One of the coaches is going to give us a word. We're going to hear it before the game. And then after that, we're about to eat. That's it.
Let's fast forward, okay? Keep going to the last huddle that you did with our team, whether it was today or yesterday or last week, okay? And you put your hand in with the guys in this room, and you guys said, hey, whatever, we're gonna fight a rebound or you know, confidence, whatever the word is that you guys would say. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, son, your sins are forgiven. The dude gets up, they walk out, and everyone's amazed, okay? And some people are mad, and they want to kill Jesus because of it.
All right, this is what my pregame meal looks like. It's nothing crazy. Simple as that. Mac and cheese and chicken. And I got some water too. That's it. That is it. We just ate our little pregame meal after chapel. So now I'm about to go back to the room, lay down till about like 5, and then get back in the arena at 5:30, and then get on the court, get some shots up before the game. You know, something like pregame fit. Got some off-white Air Forces. Got some cargos. Got a flannel graphic tee, hat. You ready? It's a day in the life of Chance McMillan. I'm about to go walk in right now and get changed and get ready for the game. I'm gonna see y'all after.
Miller. Stop, pop. Good. Nice screen by Up next, with so much happening at GCU in the next few months, Lopes insider Paul Coro joins the show to help break it all down.
CAZ Sports Bar is the Valley's home for sports fans. Now, it's also your new home for sports betting, so you can make your picks. Catch all the action. And enjoy everything else you crave. We're your home for sports betting, Arizona. CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
It's time for the Talking Stick Resort Play of the Week. Play in style. Harrison, why not three? Oh, man, why not indeed? Harrison weaving around the reverse. Oh, man, what can he do tonight? Swing, swing, Harrison, open look, corner three. Bam! I like that. Tap back good, a new career high for Ray Harrison.
What a basketball game. What a performance by Ray Harrison.
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes. I'm now joined by Lopes insider Paul Coro. And Paul, as we talk about both men's and women's basketball, both kind of dealing with their fair share of injuries. For the men, they've already lost two guys, one of them coming back, and Josh Baker, who went down in the last game. But somehow they've been able to compete.
Yeah, amazing testament to how their depth has really come through at the end of those things. 7-man rotation, taking Utah Valley to the buzzer, down 8, scores 7 straight, has a play rim out at the end that could have won the game.
On the women's side, they had a 6-game winning streak snapped, losing to California Baptist. But in their home stretch here, Olivia Lane, she's been inserted in the lineup some 12 games, had a huge double-double, 16 points, 19 rebounds.
Yeah, incredible. Only player in the nation to have that line off the bench this season in college basketball. And she was out for a month. You know, it's like she's just getting back to herself. And the Lopes are still in great position after that loss. They're in the 3rd spot, very close to number 2 in the WAC resume seeding system, and we're just hitting the halfway point. And like you mentioned, like Sydney Palmer will come back at some point, and they'll be even better.
It is amazing how competitive the conference has become, and there's a number of teams that in Las Vegas you could see winning it.
Yeah, that's why both sides, it's so key. They want, both teams are in position with the top 4 because those top 4 get a first-round bye. You don't want to have to win more than 3 games in Las Vegas because of the depth you're talking about. You're already going to have to win 3 games in 3 days.
Outside of men's and women's basketball, there's tons of activity now getting started at GCU. Men's and women's tennis getting underway. Men's volleyball continues to impress 4-0 after a 5-set win over number 14 Ohio State. They're doing a great job. GCU track and field, they got their season underway both in Flagstaff and Albuquerque, and they were really impressive.
Yeah, all those going up. Men's volleyball's got the next 8 straight at home, so lots of chances to catch a top 10 program that Matt Worley's got going there. And Tom Flood always is doing it. His room looks like the trophy hall in there with all the WAC championships and what he's doing out at the Oval Office, as he calls it.
Baseball, a couple of openers coming up in mid-February, the 17th and the 18th. Both of those games on the MLB network. Their home opener against number 2 ranked Tennessee.
Yeah, that weekend's sensational with the MLB event going on. They'll play 2 games at spring training facilities, 2 games here, but none bigger than having number 2 Tennessee come into GCU ballpark on a Saturday night, February 18th. And you got 2 top 100 prospects on the Lopes roster. Jacob Wilson being talked about as a top 5 draft pick, but Homer Bush Jr. also getting a lot of interest we saw a great progression in him freshman to sophomore year and expecting another.
And how about softball? They get their season underway just around that same point, about February 17th as well. Shannon Hayes has taken over the helm, and of course they are the reigning WAC champions, and it's going to be a great matchup and a great season for him too.
Yeah, Shannon Hayes came in last year and did great things for the softball program, took them to their first NCAA tournament. No team had a greater single season win turnaround than the Lopes did in that NCAA, and now they want that next step. They've got a lot of strong players returning, and they brought in some impact players too on the roster, and they've got a home-heavy schedule because everybody loves coming out to Phoenix to play at GCU.
Well, there's a ton of athletic events happening at GCU. We hope to have you come out and take in one of these great games. But that'll do it for yet another show. My thanks to Paul Coro, my thanks to both Coach Shrew and to Coach Miller, and to you for tuning in to Center Court with the Lopes.